Have you missed me? Well, I'll try to catch you up on everything I've been doing and make a desperate plea for money. All that and more, probably, in the next 30 seconds. Welcome to Galactic Daily News for the 29th of September, 2019. It's a beautiful Sunday, if you like heat, and I'm going to catch you up on everything that I've been doing. I am your host, Cameron Durgay. So, what's been going on here in Durgayheim? I know you guys haven't heard from me in a while, and I apologize for that. A lot of that has to do with the way I've been feeling lately. I've come in kind of a fog the last couple of weeks. Nothing physical. I think it's mental more than anything else. I've just been going by the numbers. On dialysis days, I'm getting up, getting ready, making my coffee, making a sandwich, going to dialysis, sitting there for 4 hours. Sometimes I sleep, sometimes I don't. A lot of times I can't sleep for the whole 4 hours for some reason. Come home, there I can sleep for an hour or more, take a nap, and eat some supper, and then stare at a screen until I'm tired enough to go to bed. Get some fitful sleep for the next few hours, get up and do it all over again. On the days I don't have dialysis, I get up, make some coffee, and sit here and stare at a screen. Like I said, I've been in kind of a fog. But that seems to have lifted in the last few days. So, I figured I'd give you guys an update, see what's going on. As you can see, the hair is getting a little better. As it gets longer, it's staying in place more. It's not sticking up like Grandpa from the Munsters. So, I got that going for me. Dialysis has been going well, for the most part. The last couple of times have been a trial. Not during the dialysis itself. Those 4 hours when they're sucking out my blood, cleaning it, and then punching it back in are generally pretty well. I don't have any issues with that. What I have issues with is the initial needle stick. In the beginning, they gave me a tube of numbing cream. It had lidocaine and some other numbing agent in it. And that seemed to numb the area. If you can see the area. Yeah, it's right along in here. That seemed to numb the area pretty well. That ran out, and unfortunately it's a prescription item. And since they don't currently have insurance, the Fresenius pharmacy won't send it to me. I've said, hey, just bill me for it, But, no, they're not happy to do that. So I went and bought some over-the-counter stuff, which contains lidocaine and menthol. Doesn't work as well. Does not work as well. And, of course, the nurses there have varying degrees of competency when it comes to sticking me. There are a couple there, with or without the numbing cream. If they stick me, I hardly feel it at all. But there are a couple there who, well, they might as well be stabbing me with short swords. They stick me, and quite literally, I cry out and thump my legs against the floor every time because it hurts like hell, and I don't like it. Now, let's see, today is Sunday. So Thursday, they had a guest star there. Somebody from another clinic came in to do the thing, and she was the one that stuck me. Well, she's stuck me fine. There was a lot of pain involved, but she stuck me fine, except the needles were too close together, which wasn't an issue during the dialysis itself. It was an issue when she went to pull them, because she pulled the back one, no problem, and then when they pulled them, they get some 2x2 bandages, these things here, right? They get a bunch of them, fold them up, and put pressure on the hole where they pull it from, which is exactly what they're supposed to do because pressure is the best way to relieve small bleeding. Excuse me, pollen or something in the air is causing me to have some congestion. So anyway, she puts pressure on it, but because it was so close to the other needle, what happened when she put pressure on it, she pushed down the point of the needle that was still in me, and I think she opened up a hole in the vein. Because when she pulled that one, it bled like a stuck pig. And it was quite a while before she could get the bleeding to stop. Quite a lot of pressure, quite a lot of blood. I had blood pouring down, well, dripping down my arm onto everything, and it was not fun. But finally she got it to stop, and we bandaged it up, and it was fine. Until yesterday. Yesterday, one of the regular nurses was there, very sweet woman, and she stuck me, and the front needle, for some reason, wasn't sitting right. The alarm on the machine kept going off. It kept wavering or something. And I had a feeling, because it was very close to the area where where the previous nurse had stuck me and screwed it all up, that was the reason for it. So she pulls it out. Eventually, what she did was she stuck me again, lower. Okay, so she stuck me again lower down here, which was fine, other than the pain. And then she pulled out the first needle, and again, it was like a fountain had opened up. I was bleeding all over the place, and finally, and pressure didn't stop it. And finally, what she had to do was get a special Band-Aid that had a clotting agent in the actual bandage part of it. And she slapped that on there, and the bleeding stopped because it clotted right at the surface there. So that was great. And even, you're supposed to keep those bandages on for a day, so I pulled them off earlier today. You can see no bandages. And, it was fine. There was nothing, there was no bleeding or anything else. So, I was happy about that. I got a little bruising there, and of course I can still see the scabs from previous needle sticks. It's fun and exciting. So, that was my last 2 dialysis. But like I said, the actual dialysis was fine. I have no issues with it at all. Except, okay, so here's the other issue. At the end of dialysis, this happened both Thursday and yesterday. So they get done with dialysis, and one of the things they do is they take a sitting blood pressure. My sitting blood pressure was fine, a little low, but not horrible. My blood pressure has always been a little low, historically. There have been some times when it's been really high. I don't know what causes that, but it's a thing. So then they do a standing blood pressure. So I stand up, and while they're taking the blood pressure, I can feel my head getting lighter and lighter and lighter, like there's helium in it. So I have to sit down. And the standing blood pressure was incredibly low, under 100. So both times you're like, okay, so what's going on here? And what's going on is they're pulling too much fluid from me. One of the things they do during dialysis is if you have excess fluid, which you usually do, because, even though I'm still going to the bathroom on a regular basis, I'm not going enough because of the issues with the kidneys. The fact they're dead. And it surprises them that I still go to the bathroom at all. But I don't go enough to pull all the fluid off me, so they'd have to do that during dialysis. Well, what they're doing is because they have not, I've been gaining weight. My appetite has returned. I'm eating more. In fact, after I finish this, I'm going to go make myself a sandwich. But they have not increased what they call my dry weight. So whenever I go in and I weigh in, when I come in, they're like, oh, okay, we have to pull so many liters of fluid off you. If I catch them, I say, no. Subtract at least 1 liter from that. And then generally I'm fine. Well, the last couple times, Thursday, I wasn't able to catch the nurse before she did that. Like I said, they had a guest star there. So she was doing things differently, and it kind of threw me off. And Saturday, I said something about it, and they're like, "Oh, well, your weight is such and such. We'll subtract a little," but they didn't subtract enough. So they pulled too much fluid from me both times. And both times, I had to sit there for 15 to 30 minutes after dialysis, um, and either drink something, or the more effective way of getting fluid into me is to pump saline into me. Now, the good part is they don't have to stick me again to do that because they have not pulled, at that point, they have not pulled the needles. They don't pull the needles just in case they have to do something like that. So both times they put some saline into me, and I'm sitting there, and eventually the fluid levels even out, and I'm okay. So, so that's a thing. And then, of course, yesterday was a horrible day to begin with. Well, actually, it started out fine. I got up early, made coffee, fed the dog, put him out, brought him back in, got dressed, made my coffee, made my sandwiches, packed everything away and waiting. And generally, now Saturdays, I have a different transport than I do on the weekdays. On the weekdays, it's Guilford County. On Saturday, apparently, Guilford County does not run, so it's a private company called Big Wheel Transportation. And they're a bunch of numfucks. 10 o'clock comes around, no van. 10:30 comes around, still no van. I call the company. Oh yeah, she's in Greensboro. She's coming your way. It should be about 15 minutes. Oh, all right. I know that's a lie, but I set my watch by it. 15 minutes comes by, no van. And I figured, well, I'll give them till about 5 minutes to 11. So I'm looking out the window like every 5 minutes. So 10:45, 10:50, 10:55. Oh, hey, look, they're in the driveway. Awesome. I haven't heard a horn. Nobody's come and knocked on the door, but they're in the driveway. So I grab my bags, I go out, and they're gone. Well, I'm a little pissed at this point. So I called the company. They were here. I went out. They were gone. You need to get on the radio and tell them to turn their ass around and come back and get me. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Lewin. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. And, 10 minutes later, as I'm standing outside, they finally show up. I get in and go back to and go to dialysis. And then, of course, the whole issue with the needles happened. But then I find out what they did is after they pulled out of my driveway the first time, as I'm running out to catch them, they went to the clinic and said, "Is he here?" "No, he's not here. In fact, he just called and said he didn't know when he was going to be here because he didn't know when you were showing up." Oh. And then she gets it back, and I'm assuming she missed the call to come back and get me while she was in the clinic trying to figure out if I was there. Because she didn't say a word to me. And she had a mask on. So I don't know, maybe she had a cold. My first thought was, oh, she thinks we're all infectious, which we're not. You can't catch kidney disease that way. So anyway, yesterday was not a fun day. Come back from dialysis, and I'm still kind of lightheaded. I didn't tell them that because they wouldn't have released me. So I went straight to, after letting the dog out, I went straight to bed and slept for about 2 hours. And when I got up, I was fine. No issues. Made myself some supper. And, just spent the night staring at a screen. I actually have been doing some writing. Just dribs and drabs, a little bit at a time, working on the book that I started a couple of weeks ago. 4,438 words so far. All right, so next order of business, desperate plea for money. At this point in time, for the current month, we have, all right, we've got $220. $220, which I appreciate the folks that donated. Every bit helps. So right now, what we need is 720 more. We need 720 more by the 5th of October. Now, this is already the 29th of September. I realize that. I've been kind of slack in poking you guys. And like I said, a lot of that's because I've been in a fog for the last couple of weeks. But the fog has lifted, and I'm back. I'm back. It's time to plead for more money. Anything you guys can give, will be helpful. You can do it for GoFundMe, and I will put the URL here and in the notes below. You can do it by PayPal, which you can find me at Kerman@yahoo.com via PayPal. You can do it Patreon. Patreon is probably my favorite way of doing it, simply because, in effect, you're paying me for doing something. Now, I currently have 2 patrons, and I'm getting a total of $32 a month from those 2 patrons. But if you do more, you can, it's a monthly thing, and you can do as little as $5 a month for it. I think actually apparently somebody did $2 a month, so you can do that. And that comes out of your account every month. I think on the 7th of the month is what they do. So, and then goes to me. So, that's an awesome way of doing it. And when you do that, when you do it via Patreon, you will receive my political points videos, which I was supposed to be doing every week. I kind of slacked off on that, but I will start doing those again. And the first one I'm going to be doing is talking is a good thing. It's about the First Amendment, because I'm going to go through all the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments, because I think it's important that people understand those in the current political climate, especially in my mind the first 2, but all 10 are very important. That's why they're there. That's why the Founding Fathers felt it important to put those there as the Bill of Rights. So let's see. You can do Patreon, you can do PayPal, you can do GoFundMe, and you can do Cash App. That's the other one. Cash App is a phone app. If you you can do it for iPhones or Android, and you can find me and you send the money directly to me via the Cash App, and you can find me there under $Kerman. I didn't pick it. $sign wouldn't have been my first choice as a character, but that's where it is. So you can do that. Those are the 4 ways that you can send me money. And I'm asking, please, kids, send me the money. I don't want to be kicked out of my house. Y'all have been very good these last few months in getting me the money before, so that I don't get kicked out. But I'm asking again. Now, to update you on the Social Security thing, I think the last time we talked, I updated you on that. I have an appointment on the 2nd of October. Now, even to apply for it, I doubt very much it's going to be an immediate thing, because it's the federal government. They don't do anything immediate except throw missiles. And even then, there's usually some babble about it. So, I don't know when I'm going to get that. The good news is that when I get it, I should get payment all the way back to when I first started applying, which was a couple of months ago. So that'll be good. So yeah, I have the appointment on the 2nd of October. A friend of mine has been kind enough to offer me a ride back and forth, so that'll be good. So we got that going for us, which is nice. Now, what I've hopefully they'll be giving me enough each month that I won't have to, that I can be able to pay rent and bills and whatnot, and still have a little left over for toys. I guess I don't know. There are some things I need around the house that EBT doesn't pay for. So the little extra will go for things like toilet paper, paper towels, dish soap. I have enough hand soap from when I was in peritoneal dialysis to last me out the year. So I don't need any of that. But there are things that I need that the EBT doesn't pay for. So, once I get the Social Security, I'll have that and the EBT, and I'll be good. No issues there at all. I'll just, the extra money will go for extra things. And there are things that are wearing out here around the house that I need to replace or repair that I don't have the money for currently because I don't have any money. So, we need to hopefully Social Security be enough to get all that stuff taken care of. All right, so this has been 21 minutes so far, not much longer, but a little longer than most of the other videos. But that's because, I had a bunch to say. Some of it you may even find relevant. Woo-hoo. So, anyway, it's been good talking to you. Hopefully I'll talk to you again soon. Y'all be cool.
Everybody be cool. You be cool.